the chief guest of the day has worked with so many people who are at the higher level in India, and we are fortunate to have him here with us. And he has been doing this in the city of Chennai for the past 1 week or 10 days, no sir. So we are very fortunate to have his appointment, and he is kind enough to give us this. This will enlighten you about so many things that you are not aware and we are not aware. I make a very, very humble request to all of you to be silent, observe, listen for 2 hours, and please do have interactive session with the chief guest.
Namaste to all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Indian Knowledge System series, lecture on ancient Indian philosophy and modern science. To begin this auspicious occasion on a positive note, let us invoke the blessings of the Almighty through the prayer.
Namo Ariyantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Yeso Panchanamukaro, Sava Pavapanasano, Mangalananche Savesim. Padamam Havai Mangalam, Padamam Havai Mangalam.
I now call upon Dr. Ramadevi Shekhar, Director of Center of Excellence, Art and Culture, to welcome the gathering.
Namaste. A very warm welcome to one and all present here. It is my privilege to welcome you all to this enlightening lecture on Indian philosophy and modern science, ancient Indian philosophy and modern science, organized by our center along with Jainology department as a part of our commitment to promoting the Indian knowledge system, that is IKS we call.
Unfortunately, we
India
are not
possesses
aware of
a
it.
very old
So what
and
is
one of the
required is
most profound
restaurants to be
knowledge
made aware
system.
of it so
The
that
Indian
they
knowledge
use this
system is
knowledge
not merely
for
a
advancing
study
the
of
present
our
science.
past. It is a
And that
living
is the objective
tradition
of my talk.
that integrates philosophy, science, ethics, art, literature, mathematics, medicine, ecology, and
Are these
spirituality
science students
into a
or,
holistic framework for understanding life. Today, there is a reverent
Okay.
and
Sorry.
global interest in exploring
Then
how
I will
these
speak
timeless
like that. Let's
principles
just
can
finish.
contribute to addressing contemporary challenges. We are indeed fortunate to have Dr. M.B. Modi ji, a distinguished scientist who served the Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO. His vast scientific experience coupled with his deep interest in Indian philosophical thought offers a unique perspective on the harmonious relationship between ancient wisdom and modern scientific inquiry. Dear students, I encourage you, each one of you, to listen attentively, participate actively, and the most of this valuable opportunity to interact with our esteemed speaker. May today's vision inspire us to rediscover the timeless wisdom of our civilization and its relevance to the modern day, that is scientific relevance of world today. With these words, I once again extend a warm, heartfelt, warm welcome to our reverend speaker, dignitaries, and faculty members, students, and to all our guests.
Thank you, ma'am. I now call upon Dia for introducing the guest.
It is my great honor and privilege to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Dr. M.B. Modi ji. Sir is a retired DRDO scientist who served India's Defence Research and Development Organization for 45 years. During his career, he had the privilege of working under the guidance of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. After retirement, he dedicated himself to study in the connection between quantum science and Jain philosophy. He is the founder and knowledge ambassador of the Jain Science and Consciousness Forum, where he shares how ancient Jain wisdom connects with modern science. Dr. Modi ji has also authored several books including Jain Vigyan, Vigyanik Mahavir, Jainism explains evolution of the universe and life using principles of quantum physics and quantum biology, Jain Darshan ka Vigyanik Swarup, and Jain philosophy of Dravyas and Tattvas that blossom in the 20th century as Nobel Prize-winning scientific innovations.
Sir, we warmly welcome you and look forward to learning from your valuable insights. I kindly request Principal Ma'am and Vice Principal Ma'am to honor our esteemed chief guest with a shawl and a sapling. Thank you, ma'am. I now kindly request Dr. M.B. Modi ji, retired DRDO scientist, to address the gathering.
लैपटॉप की जरूरी नहीं है। अच्छा, चेंज करने के लिए ना। उठो। ठीक है। हाँ 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 हाँ। नहीं, कोई रहने दीजिए, कोई नहीं। Oh yes, I'm comfortable. No, no. Hello, hello. Hi, take care. Science only in 16th and in non-living objects. And in spiritual language, this awareness, this knowledge is called soul or Atma. So in spiritual language, they said that living beings have soul. Non-living beings do not have soul. And the soul is the source of knowledge as well as source of life. Life is not a set of activities. The activities which our body carry are also carried by an automobile. The automobile also breathes like us. It also takes fuel as we take food, convert fuel into energy, and then use it for motion. So our organs, our body also does the same job. So simply connecting life with the set of body activities is not correct definition. So it appears that now even the scientists are also accepting that consciousness appears to be the fundamental thing. Neurologists and doctors even today say the source of knowledge in our body is brain. Brain is the source of our knowledge in our body. The brain acts like a computer. Now it means those living beings which do not have no brain, does that mean that they are dead, they are not living? Does, does that mean that they don't have knowledge, they don't know that they exist? They do. So if 95% of the biomass on the earth does not have brain or nervous system, that includes bacteria, viruses, plants, etc. And they have consciousness. They are aware that they exist and they have to take food. Even a bacteria, a single cell creature, microbe, it knows it survives, it knows it exists, and for existence it has to take food. So this simply shows that the source of consciousness is not the brain. Till today, all scientific methods and investigations carried out to find out the source of consciousness in body has failed. And now it is concluded without any doubt that the source of consciousness does not lie in our body. This is the present situation of the medical science. The life science, the neurologists also say the same thing. Now see the picture of Indian philosophy. The Indian philosopher says, we have two sources of knowledge in our body. One source they call Bahiratma. And Bahiratma means our body, brain and the sensors. Bahiratma consists of this thing. So whatever our brain, body and sensors and nervous systems acquire knowledge, that knowledge is Bahiratma, and this knowledge is intelligence. So our brain makes us intelligent but not conscious. What does it mean? That is, the brain cannot tell you what shirt you should wear, whether green or blue or what you should eat. The brain cannot tell you, help you in making any decisions about your activities, about your future planning, about what you like and dislike, whether you would like to visit, go to a picture or go to the school. It doesn't tell what is good and what is bad. Brain doesn't have that capacity because brain is like an electronic computer. A computer will take the data, compute the information, and it will make available to you, and it is left to you how to use it. Brain cannot tell you how to use it. Brain, so decision-making power doesn't lie with the brain. Similarly, your emotional expressions, brain cannot tell you what type of emotions you should create. These are the jobs of our consciousness. And Indian philosophy, Indian knowledge tells us that the body has two types of computers. One is Bahiratma, an electronic computer. The second is Antaratma, a quantum computer. Scientists are still now have started working on quantum computer, whereas our ancestors already defined electronic computer and quantum computer. Quantum computer is the source of consciousness. Electronic computer is the source of intelligence. When robots or machines can be intelligent but cannot be conscious because they lack soul. They lack the quantum computer. Now if we can produce a quantum computer, maybe we may be able to give some consciousness or induct some soul in our machines, in our robots. Today they are only intellectual. They have intelligence, but they don't have any conscious power. So, and you see all our scriptures, all our philosophy, they mostly discuss soul, its properties, functions. That means they only discuss quantum computer. The information, the knowledge available about this quantum computer can be made use to design an artificial quantum computer which scientists are trying to do. So in short, what I am trying to tell you is our Shastras are in fact encyclopedia of knowledge. We must get acquaintance with that knowledge and we must know what are the contributions, scientific contributions of our ancestors. What we are told is we discovered zero, we discovered brick, we discovered how to make the scriptures. But that is not our scientific content. In fact, all the scientific theories we discovered. And if we are aware of this thing, we should make the world know that yes, we did it, which neither our people nor the world knows. So the mission of mine, actually today's talk was only to make you aware that our ancient knowledge is not a blind faith or just a fiction, but it is a real science. Our ancestors developed the scientific understanding of God, universe, matter and life. And that is what the science does today. This slide now shows that our basic principles, which I said, 23 principles, they were used as they blossomed in 20th century. That is after 2600 or 3000 years after that, as Nobel Prize winning inventions. And some of the inventors are showed there that, and whatever they infinite gravitation field. Before Einstein, about 150 years ago, before Einstein, Newton said gravitation exists in the earth. But the new definition of Einstein and the old definition of our Indian philosophers or spiritual masters reject this definition, and today we know that the earth does not have gravitation force, but we experience that force because some other reason that I won't be able to explain you because you may not be able to understand. But remember that know this much only, that gravitation is not property of the earth, because gravitation is energy, and energy cannot be the property of any object, because energy is fundamental. Like mass is fundamental, energy is also fundamental. And therefore gravitation cannot be the property of the earth. But yes, for practical purposes, because it is the center of gravitation, we say it is the source of gravitation. So engineers will still be using today, and that is valid also because that is practical example. That's all. But in reality, the cosmic space is infinite gravitation field. So the first dravya is that. Now the second dravya, they call the five dravyas are Akash dravya, Dharma dravya, Adharma dravya, Jeev dravya and Pudgal. So the universe is made of these five types of energies. Now according to the characteristics of the dravyas and characteristics of the energy, we can say Akash dravya is gravitation energy, Dharma dravya is kinetic energy, Adharma dravya is potential energy, Jeev dravya is electromagnetic energy, and Pudgal dravya is plasma. So these five types of energies are good enough for making all types of for development, for evolution of the universe and all types of living and non-living materials. So what our agmas describe is these five types of energies. They have dual energies, they behave like waves, they behave like particles, and interaction between particles, when the two particles they combine, they make Parmanu. Parmanu combines to make molecule, and molecules agree to make matter. Exactly this is the present theory of science. What the science also tells, the science tells, the energy, there is one more difference. The scientists do not know the real nature of the energies. What they say is about not energy, about the universe. They say the universe was created 14.3 billion years ago. And the process of creation, they call it as Big Bang. So what is the theory? The theory is before 14.3 billion years ago, the whole universal energy condensed into a small ball, what we call black hole. The whole infinite amount of energy was present in the form of a small size black hole. And that black hole exploded, and the energy got distributed in billions of galaxies. This energy was very hot. It took about 10 billion years to cool it down. When it cooled, the energy particles were created. The energy particles united to form atoms. Atoms combined to form molecules. Molecules aggregated and combined to produce all types of devices, living and non-living objects. Is it not the same as what our ancestors, Bhagwan Mahavir has said? Same thing. There is no difference. And the beauty is the structure and the action of Parmanu or atom were discovered only in 1913 by Niels Bohr. Before that, nobody knows what an atom consists of. All they were saying is atom is the ultimate particle, it cannot be divided. It cannot be broken. But then Agma says that atom, Jain Agmas describe that atom which has all the properties of Bohr's atom. And what Bohr's atom says? Bohr's atom says that atom has got electrons, protons, and atom is made of electrons, protons, and neutrons. Proton and neutron, they combine form the nucleus of the atom. Around the nucleus, there are a large number of electrons rotating in different orbits. Now, if you see the volume occupied by electrons on this thing, then it is found that 99.99% of the atom is empty. Only 0.001% space volume is occupied by nucleus. That means for all practical purposes, atom is empty, and in this emptiness, you find electrons. That means this emptiness is called electron cloud. So atom, for all practical purposes, is an electron cloud. in Bohr's atom, when Bohr discovered, he said the atom has positive and negative charges, and the atoms can execute many types of speed motions, and exactly Jain Agmas also described that atom can perform 10 types of motions. It has ruksh and snigdha sparsh, that means it has positive and negative charges. Now, because of the motion, atom emits radiations which have different colors. So Agma says atom has rang, varna. Varna means colors, it can produce colors. Heat, light, darkness, brightness, all are functions of atoms. So you will find that whole atomic physics is described in Jain Agmas. Unfortunately, we are not aware. No other scripture of any religion, any dharma, or no philosophy gives describe the complete atom, its function, and how the atoms create the molecules, and how molecules join and create the objects. But this whole atomic and molecular physics is present in Agmas, Jain Agmas, and you will find that the modern molecular and atomic speeds exactly match with what we are saying. I am a scientist, I have studied, I am telling this on the basis of my own research. So like that, what you see is that there is lot of science in our Agmas, and this. So now you say I said that 5 energies. If we know the properties of the gas, you can contribute a lot to the development of science. In conclusion, I can say that if we read our philosophies in the background of science, you will find that knowledge is very, very helpful for development of the present science. Finally, I will say that the science of energy and particles is called quantum physics, and the science of solid liquids and gases, that those which have mass, is called Newtonian physics or classical physics. So our physics, chemistry, biology, they are science of solids, liquids and gases only. But they cannot describe the properties, motions and actions, functions of energy and particles, that is atoms. So the science of atoms and subatomic particle is quantum physics, and our Shastras especially discuss the science of Parmanu and Dravyas, which we today call as quantum physics. So in fact, quantum physics was discovered in India, and it was developed further in the Europe for application for creating new technology. And quantum physics is called the ultimate science. But what we are told is quantum physics was discovered in 20th century, and it was discovered in Germany. All the German people, some 20-25 scientists, they got Nobel Prize on the discovery of this quantum physics. And all those factors, they are present in our Agmas. So, in conclusion, I say that we should study our philosophies not as a simple mere academic exercises to give degrees, which is of no use. But you learn philosophy as a skill as knowledge and a skill development program, which you can use for creating your own employment, your own job, and assist in development of society. If you learn science and technology, you know that you can get the job. But whatever you learn in the university is of no use when you go outside the university and search for a job. You have to work under some senior person who has the experience how to utilize that knowledge, because you are not told how to use that knowledge. You are simply given a number 1 to 100, but you do not know what to do with those numbers. So in academic studies, you are simply told some abstract ideas, feelings, etc. But you are hardly aware of how to use it in real life. That is, this type of teaching is called skill development, and the education, and now the new education policy gives emphasis on this skill development teaching. And in that case, the ancient Indian knowledge will be of immense value, and therefore we have an advantage over others. Otherwise also Indians are very brilliant when you compare with Europeans and other races. But we do not know our own strength. It is like that, it is like Hanuman, you know. He was all powerful, but he did not know that he has the power. Only Jambavant has to tell him that he has the power, and then only he could cross the ocean. So it is like this, that we are really the most intelligent species in this universe. We means Indians, because our brain developed 5,000-6,000 years ago. That time Europeans and the rest of the world was the people living in the caves. They were cavemen, and we were civilized people that time. So since our brain is so much developed so long and acquire so much of knowledge, we are the real gems of the universe. But we do not know our strength. We do not know what to do, how to do. And we learn what the Britishers had given as an education system. That education system was meant for creating servants, because they wanted people for their service, for their administration. And even today we'll say, oh, I have got the degree, but I don't have the job. I must get the government service. I must get the state service. Because the education is just of that type. They can't do anything else. So that education teaching should be changed, and especially if some knowledge about ancient inheritance is given, then that can be much more helpful. That is all. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can question. Yes, okay. You can have a break. आप 10 मिनट का ब्रेक दे सकते हैं.
Girls, the forum is now open for the audience to ask any questions if you have.
Any query, any question? If you have, please continue.
Those who have questions can raise their hand. We reach the mic to them and they can ask their question. Hindi or English, both are okay. Yeah. Please come in the front, those who have question. See, this is a very good chance for you to get your curiosity answered. Whatever is the subject, you can come and ask your question. Even others will get benefit out of your questioning. Yeah, we have the first person.
हम लोग आज ये 5th डे है। मंडे से हमारा एजी जैन स्कूल में था, ट्यूसडे में गणेशी बाई गेल्डा स्कूल में था, वेडनेसडे में एक पेरम्बूर में स्कूल में था और थर्सडे में बीएस मुता स्कूल में प्रोग्राम था। आज फ्राइडे है तो मोदी साहब 1 घंटा सवा घंटा बोलते हैं। इतने क्वेश्चन किए लोगों ने, इतने क्वेश्चन किए आप सोच नहीं सकते। लाइन लगी क्वेश्चन पूछने वालों की। आप आराम से आइए, एक एक जने क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे, बहुत अच्छा से जवाब देंगे आपको।
हेलो, चेक। तो जैनिज्म में 6 द्रव्य बताए जाते हैं। तो अब जैनिज्म में 6 द्रव्य तो अभी आपने जो 5 द्रव्य बताए, छठा द्रव्य कहाँ गिना जाएगा? हाँ, काल द्रव्य कहाँ गिना जाएगा?
So the question goes like this. In Jainism,
there are 6 dravyas, but only in here we have mentioned 5. So where does the 6th one goes? Is the question.
Yes, good question.
Well, the Jain philosophy says the universe consists of only 5 dravyas, and since the universe is made of dravyas, that simply means empty space does not exist. So there are 3 things. The first principle is God, 3-dimensional empty space, and time. They do not exist. And Einstein in 1905 exactly said the same thing in his theory of relativity, that God is irrelevant, free-time space doesn't exist, time also not required. Now why time is not required? I will give a simple example. Supposing, you want to build your house. What are the things that you require? You require only 3 things. One is you require place where you would like to have your house. Right? The second thing is you require material for construction. And the third is you require a transport system for carrying the material. Nothing else is required. Bhagwan Mahavir also says, for construction of the universe, for building the universe, you require only these 3 things. The universe is built in Akash. So cosmic space is the place where the universe is constructed. Jeev and Pudgal, that is electromagnetic energy and material and plasma or material energy, they are the materials used in building the universe. And dharma and adharma dravya form the transport system. So these 5 dravyas, they are good enough, and they are the fundamental thing and essential things for building the universe. You may add any more things to it. That's a different thing. But primarily this thing. But what to observe is, whatever exists in the universe, that thing is takes birth, or it is created, it dies, or it is destroyed, and still their presence will always be there. They were in the past, they are today, and they will remain in the future also. So what we find is, in the universe, whatever exists, it undergoes change. There are always changes taking place in this thing. That is, things, different types of activities are going on. And these activities, these changes, we measure in terms of some unit. Like supposing if you have milk, you have to measure it. Then you will say it is half liter, 1 liter, or 2 liter. If you don't have that measurement unit, you can't say how much, you cannot describe the milk, the quantity of the milk. Similarly, if there is a change, the change is taking place, the displacement is taking place, movement is taking place, you have to say that how long that particular reaction acts. So the unit of measurement is time. We measure in terms of time how long that particular event lasts. What is the life of that particular event? It is very essential for acquiring the knowledge. And the knowledge of all physical objects are always acquired in terms of space and time. Our brain functions only space and time. If the space is infinite, we cannot see it. For example, if you see the ocean is very large. But if you look that thing, you find that the ocean will end at some end, and the sky will be touching the ocean, because that is the limit. So you can acquire only information within that range. And whatever events are occurring there, those events you can measure in terms of time. So since our brain, our mind functions in a coordinate system of space and time, time is very, very essential for acquiring knowledge. So in Jainism, time is said to exist in Vyavharnaya, that is in practical life, but in Nischayana, that is, Nischayana means quantum physical concept. In quantum physical concept, time does not exist. And since this time has as much importance as other things like dravyas, we in our day-to-day life treat time also as a dravya. But time is not dravya in real sense. Thank you. Does it satisfy you?
सर पहले तो जय जिनेंद्र।
हाँ नहीं, इसको मत यूज के, वैसे बता दो। हाँ, ये रेजोनेट होता है तो हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल मानता है, बगैर कर्म के तो हम जी ही नहीं सकते। कर्म का मतलब एक्शन, तो साइंस एक्शन को नहीं मांगता, सारा साइंस एक्शन पे, पूरे इंजीनियरिंग एक्शन पे है। नहीं, ठीक है, आपका क्वेश्चन बताइए, मैं आपको आंसर दूंगा। अच्छा क्वेश्चन है आपका, ठीक है। हाँ। नहीं,
हर देवता जो ऊपर रहते हैं, जो ऊपर विराजते हैं, सब देवताओं को जैन धर्म बिलीव करता है।
हाँ वो करता है। हाँ
ओके,
हाँ,
सो आई हैड
हाँ आप अब बताइए उनको अपना क्वेश्चन।
मेरे 2 डाउट्स थे। पहला ये था कि okay, done. So I had 2 doubts. First, Jain Dharam believes in karma, but does science believe in karma? Because science is about experiments, proofs. So does science believe in karma? That was my first doubt. And my second doubt was, does Jainism believe the gods like Shiv, Parvati? We have gods, right? So does Jainism believe in gods? That was my doubt. There are 2 doubts.
Okay. Okay. Her first inquiry is about karma. Please note, you first understand what is meant by karma. All types of physical, mental and vocal actions are called karma. The dravya itself are doing karmas because they are vibrating. The energy vibrates, the energy exists in the form of vibration. Dravyas also exist, the property of the dravya is parinaman. We call it parinaman. Parinaman means fluctuations. So dravya energy will be fluctuating. Fluctuation is also karma. Any type of action is karma. But in Jainism, now these karmas are divided into 2 categories. One is called ghati karma and the other is called aghati karma. So our emotions, our emotional actions and reactions, they harm our soul, so they are called ghati karma. And unfortunately, whenever we say karma, people understand karma only in that sense. And therefore, as this particular student said that science does not believe in karma, that idea is probably she got, that feeling she got it because she thought karma means only our emotions, our pride, our anger, lust for acquisition. So all these things, the bad emotions, they are called karma and they are harmful for our life. They damage our soul, they reduce the quality of the soul and therefore they are. But even these karmas, the science does recognize. The only thing is whether karma bandh can take place or not. The question should be asked and answered is whether karma bandh can take place or not. And you will be surprised to see that first time in human history, I am repeating again, first time in human history, Bhagwan Mahavir gave the same quantum mechanical answer to a question whether karmas can bind with the soul or not. He said, karmas are of 2 types. When I am saying karmas are, and those 2 types, he said bhav karma, that is for emotions, he called bhav karma, and the karmas which bind, they are dravya karma. That means what he says is vibrations, thoughts, emotions, they are vibrations, simple vibrations. And these vibrations are called bhav karma. But in reality, These vibrations are made of carbon particles. That is, as I said, no, the energy has dual nature. So this karmas have dual nature. So first time in human history, Bhagavan Mahavir said that karmas have dual nature. And today, our whole quantum physics or our whole science depends only on this assumption. So the binding takes place in the form of particle. Interaction takes place in the form of carbon particle. So carbon parmanu bind. Bhav karma do not bind. Now if bhav karmas have to bind, they have to bind as dravya karma or carbon parmanu, and they should have a minimum threshold energy. Otherwise they will simply collide and disperse. If you supposing if two balls are coming and hitting each other, they will collide and disperse, or they may merge, they will fuse. It depends whether the fuse or the collide and disperse, it depends on their strength. So depending on the strength of our emotions, the karmas may bind or may not bind, or simply just instantly it may damage slightly. Instantly damaging means it will give you bad effects on your body. You will feel uneasy. You will feel discomfortable. With those emotions, that emotions will give you only physical reactions. You will feel uneasy. You will feel discomfortable. You may have stress and strain. That may last for some time. That will disturb your daily activities, your thinking. But they do not bind. वो बंद नहीं करते हैं. वो जो है आत्मा के साथ नहीं बनते हैं. तो कोई भी कर्म ऐसा नहीं है कि वो बन जाता है. बिल्कुल नहीं. वो डिपेंड करता है कि उस कर्म की स्ट्रेंथ कितनी है. इसलिए भगवान महावीर कहते हैं कि एक्चुअली बंध जो है वो कर्मों पे डिपेंड नहीं करता है, वो भाव पे डिपेंड करता है. वो जो है कर्म पे नहीं, भाव पे, कि उस कर्म करने में जो आपका भाव है वही उसकी स्ट्रेंथ है. जैसा एक सर्जन है, वो आपका पेट काटता है तो हिंसा कर रहा है तो बहुत बुरा काम कर रहा है. तो क्या वो कर्म बंद होंगे? उसका इंटेंशन आपको मारने का नहीं है, उसका इंटेंशन आपको ठीक करने का है. तो कितना भी आपको वो काटे करे, उसके वो कर्म बनते नहीं, जबकि आप हिंसा कर रहे हैं. तो ये डिस्टिंक्शन करना होगा. यही नॉलेज लेना है. जब हम आगम पढ़ते हैं या हमारे शास्त्र पढ़ते हैं तो रियल मीनिंग क्या है वो समझना है. जो हम जो व्यवहार में जो कहते हैं साधारण लोगों को समझाने के लिए, उसको महत्व नहीं देना चाहिए. People will be talking many things just for to convey some message. But you should read between the lines. Whatever line is written, that line has no meaning. You have to read between the lines. Then only you will understand the real essence of what the sutras or that statement is giving. Thank you again. हाँ.
सर, तो मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि आपको एक आइडिया आया कि जैनिज्म और साइंस में जो लिखा हुआ है फिलॉसफी, उन दोनों को मर्ज करके मैं एक रिसर्च करूँगा. आपको वो आइडिया कहाँ से आया? So my question was that sir is a scientist. How did he get an idea of like mixing science and Jainism philosophies and doing a research on both and seeing what are the similarities in both? So I had a question. How did he get the idea of doing such a research?
Okay, I am scientist by profession and a Jain by birth. And as a scientist, I never believed in any religion. Till my retirement, I did not know what Jainism is. I never went to any temple or any sthanak or any pravachan or nothing. So I didn't have any knowledge of science. only knowledge about Jainism. Being a scientist, of course, I know science. After my retirement, my wife forced me to accompany her to temples. And I came into contact with Jain sadhavis. And one of the Jain sadhavis called Dr. Sarita ji, she was already PhD in Jainism. She wanted to do D.Lit in Jainism and science. And since I was going to for her darshan many times with my wife, she told me that you are a scientist. Our agamas contain lot of science. Please help me to understand our science in terms of your in terms of your present science. So my first reply was, I don't understand if there is any relationship between science and dharma. She said, no, you please just study our agamas, you will know this thing. And she asked me to come at least for a week, sit with her for 2-3 hours, we will have discussion on agamas and science, and then you will know what it is. So we carried together some studies, and after that she gave me some agamas. When I read those agamas, I was surprised to see the agam which she gave me was Uttarajan Sutra and Sthanang Sutra. And one of my friend, he gave me Panchastika agam. It's the Digambar agam, and the other two are the Satambar agam. When I read those agams, I found, because I don't know the old language, but they're translated in Hindi and English, I was reading that thing. I found that I could find that time that those sutras as translated, they talk of something science, but all distorted science. All distorted. Because it appears the people know the old language. They can translate into Hindi or any other Indian language. But they do not have the knowledge of the subject, and therefore the translation doesn't give you the message which that sutras contains. The translation gives wrong messages in several places. That is what I found. Then I tried to understand the original sutras, and I found the original sutras are nothing but pure scientific statements. Since the philosophers, they do not have knowledge of the science, with half knowledge they translated, they interpreted sutras, and interpretation lacks many things, and therefore we feel as if there is a conflict between science and Jainism. But I tell you 100% Jainism is pure science, nothing else. And that too also very highly advanced science, what we call quantum physics. Like today's science, see, today in colleges and schools, you probably you may not be knowing, but if you ask the science students, they will tell you that science is taught as quantum physical explanation and classical explanation. Exactly the same style is used in Jain Agamas. The phenomena is explained quantum physically as well as classically. And for the quantum physical explanation, we use the word Nishchayana. And for classical explanation, we use the Vyavaharana. That is knowledge in Vyavaharana, that is practical knowledge. Practical knowledge of all the objects which we find around us is essential for, for our living. But if you have a desire for moksha or for liberation, This knowledge is of no use. You require knowledge in Nishchaya. And Nishchaya means the fundamental knowledge. So you see that there is one-to-one correspondence between Jainism and science, and therefore I said Jainism is pure science. And not only that thing, I have written 4 books, and in my 4 books I have very clearly, with references and everything, as a scientist write a paper, clearly I showed that many ideas of Jainism are invariably, maybe unknowingly, unintentionally, but they have simply copied Jain principles, word to word. There may not be intention. I do not know whether there is intention or not. But certainly, even the greatest scientist, Einstein, you see his theories and our theories, word to word, they match each other. Such a matching cannot take place unless you have some information about this thing. When Einstein was, it is written in his biography, when Einstein was asked, how do you know, how did you get such such novel ideas? Then he said, I know these ideas exist in Buddhism. And for information, one must know that the Western people, they don't distinguish between Buddhism and Jainism. Now they have started distinguishing, otherwise they were considering it as both Buddhism and Jainism is same. And since Einstein was a clerk in patent house, in patents, you know, whatever patents are coming, he was verifying, seeing them there. He was a great mathematician, and maybe that he has seen many patents which are based on our philosophy. That is my guess. I don't say that. But the similarity is so much that one gets doubt whether he has an access to Indian philosophy. Similarly, others also, all quantum physicists appear like as if they had access to Indian literature. Whether they had or not, I don't have any proof. I can't convince them, but that is my feeling that probably they might have had an access to Indian philosophy, because there is so much of similarity between the two. Okay, any other question?
Namaskaram, sir. Namaskaram, sir. So does Jainism accept the philosophy where there is Jivan Mukta while one is still in the body? Because we spoke about moksha here. So there is this Jivan Mukta, while one is still in this body, you can be free. You will have that liberation while still. Or in Jainism, do they accept in moksha only after giving up the body?
See, please tell the question.
The question was, there is a concept called Jivan Mukta, where while you are still in this body, you are liberated. So does Jainism accept this philosophy is my question.
See, liberation or moksha in almost all religions and philosophy and dharmas is defined as proximity to God, going near to the God or going to the heaven. Jainism is the only religion or only dharma among all in this world. Only Jainism defines moksha means state of omniscient, keval jnana. Only Jainism defines moksha means a state of keval jnana or omniscient. And a person who is omniscient is called God. So we call him Siddha. That means you have to acquire the knowledge. And you can acquire the knowledge only when you are alive. So you get moksha in Jainism when you are alive, not after death. Whereas in all other philosophies and all dharma, moksha is after death. But in Jainism, moksha is achieved before death. And those people who achieve this Keval Jnana, they are called Kevali, and they will be living till their life, as per their living years, as per so when they die, then we say that they become Siddha. So that is the difference. I think I answered your question. Huh. Achha, this part I didn't know. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Bad karma.
So I have a question. The question goes like this. When we talk about the Anadi Jiva, and also at the same time, because of your karma, you are getting birth. Sir has shown one, because of bad karma, how the genes get affected, and it is taking lower birth, etc. Do we have this good karma? Because it is explained in the Agamas, and we know in the philosophy that the Tirthankaras undergo many births. So I want to know about that.
See, the only thing which is anadi is a dravya or energy, nothing else. The only thing which is anadi, which has no beginning and no end, is dravya or energy. Karma are actions of dravyas or energy. Now the simplest action is only a small movement, fluctuations. So dravyas fluctuate, energy fluctuate. They are karmas. Dravyas are formless and colorless, orderless, and they occupy the whole space. Like this air is occupying this hall. But in the air, if there are ripples, you can definitely, then only you know the air is present in this hall. Otherwise, you don't get the experience of air. So likewise, along with this air, there are all five dravyas present in this hall. We don't get its experience, but like air, those dravyas are also fluctuating. Fluctuations are creating waves. So fluctuation is karma. And what that karma is doing? That karma is transforming the dravya into a wave. So this wave and all dravyas from the very beginning, because it is their characteristics, fluctuation or parinaman, it is in Prakrit Sabda, it stands for parinaman. Since parinaman or fluctuation is characteristics or basic guna of dravyas, and because of that guna, they are doing karmas. Karmas means they are simply fluctuating and creating waves. And these karmas are creating physical forms in the form of waves. Now these waves of any is pure. If there are five dravyas, all the five dravyas are producing ripples or waves, and they are pure form. So we cannot see them. But supposing the two waves, two waves of two different dravyas, they come together and they merge with each other, you get another wave which has got a different characteristic than the two constant dravyas. So like that, the composition of wave of Jeev Dravya, the wave of Jeev Dravya is called soul or Atma. This soul or Atma does not separate from its parent Dravya. For separation, you require another wave of another substance. So the Pudgal wave, the plasma wave, when it combines with this Atma wave, then you get a first physical form, what we call as Jeev Tattva. So you have Jeev Dravya, Pudgal Dravya combining, forming Jeev Tattva. Now in this Jeev Tattva consists of two components. What are the two components? One is soul, the other is karmas. And when they form, then their characteristics also change. Now the soul which was colorless, odorless, formless, it acquires brightness. So in Agama say that this soul is Tejas Sharira. And karmas, they organize in the form of a body which called as Karman Sharir. So Tejas, so this Jeev Tattva consists of Tejas Sharir and Karman Sharir. Since now karmas are there, the Parmanus are there, the property of the Pudgal Parmanu is to attract other Pudgal Parmanu and build a body. So Jeev Tattva has the capacity to build a body, and that body may be of any type of physical body depending on the environment in which that Jeev Tattva appears. So this is how in different environment, different types of species are created, and these species are also called, these karmas and tattvas are also called anadi in our practical use, because we do not know, because from the very beginning all the dravyas, they are fluctuating, waves are forming, and therefore the waves are combining and they are producing Jeev tattvas. So the karma binding is also called anadi. We cannot point out when it has happened, because all the time it will be there. That is the characteristic from the very beginning. That is why you say karmas and this thing are anadi. But in real sense, anadis are only dravyas. Any other question? भगवान ने हाँ सोल में नहीं, द्रव्य में. हाँ अच्छा, वो सिंबॉलिज्म है, वो सिंबॉलिज्म है, कुछ नहीं. नहीं, मुझे लगता है वो करना है. और कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना? हाँ बताइए.
हाँ
नहीं, मैं समझा नहीं, क्या कह रहे आप? अभी बताना करती है. कर्मा का मतलब एक्शन, बगैर एक्शन के कोई नहीं रहता. अभी तो मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया था, वो सब बेकार की बातें हैं.
आपको डिसाइड करना है क्या कर्मा, पहले ज्ञान हासिल करना है. साइंस कर्मा को मानता है, अब
साहब आपको शुभ कर्म करना अशुभ कर्म करना आप ज्ञान से पहले जानो, पहले ज्ञान आएगा फिर तो आपको मारना कि नहीं मारना वो आप खुद डिसाइड करेंगे।
वही तो चेतना है आपकी, वही कॉन्शियसनेस है आपका।
खाने के लिए मारना भी पड़ेगा, गेहूं में भी जीव है, तो आप डिसाइड करना है कि मेरे खाना जरूरी है तो आपको हिंसा करनी पड़ेगी। किसी को मारना जरूरी नहीं है तो नहीं करेंगे आप, पहले आप ज्ञान हासिल करो तब आपको खुद पता चलेगा। कर्म साइंस को मानता है, साइंस इज कर्म, वो आप जानो फिर डिसाइड।
एक और है कि जैनिज्म में डिविजन्स है, छोटी परमाणी, बड़ी मारवाड़ी, स्थानकवासी,
ये अच्छे से कहते हैं।
कितनी दुकान है, बहुत सारी दुकान है, सब दुकान है पांडी में जाकर।
Further questions?
नहीं ये क्या प्रश्न कर सकते हैं? Any question? देखिए मैं
वो देखिए
अब अगर
वो स्टूडेंट ने आके क्या पूछा था कि साइंस कर्मा को मानता है कि नहीं मानता, हिंदी में बोलता हूँ सॉरी। तो डॉक्टर साहब कहते हैं कि साइंस कर्मा को मानता है, साइंस और कर्मा दोनों मानते हैं, इसमें कोई दो राह नहीं। फिर वो बेटी बोलती है कि मैं कीड़ी को मारना कि नहीं मार में हिंसा है कि नहीं, ये उनका पूछना है। तो पहले आप साइंस से ज्ञान को हासिल करो, फिर आपको क्या करना है करो। अभी कभी कभी हिंसा करनी पड़ती है, देखिए पानी पीना पड़ेगा, खाना खाना पड़ेगा, तो खाने में भी हिंसा है। अब खाना बिना तो नहीं रह सकते, आपको डिसाइड करना है कि मेरे को क्या हिंसा करनी है, क्या हिंसा नहीं करनी है, किस में हिंसा है किस में हिंसा नहीं है। ये आपको ज्ञान से मालूम पड़ेगा, नॉलेज से मालूम पड़ेगा। जब आप द्रव्य को समझेंगे, तत्वों को समझेंगे, प्रकृति को समझेंगे तो आपको सब मालूम पड़ जाएगा। फिर आपको कौन सा काम करना कौन सा काम नहीं करना आप खुद डिसाइड करो। जो अच्छा काम है करो, जो बुरा काम है मत करो, मगर उसके लिए आपको ज्ञान हासिल करना पड़ेगा। और वो ज्ञान आएगा द्रव्यों से, तत्वों से, प्रकृति के, इससे सब ज्ञान हासिल करो, फिर खुद आप डिसाइड कर सकते हैं। अभी वो बेटी ने दूसरा सवाल पूछा है कि इतने सारे गच्छ संप्रदाय, इतने सारी अलग अलग शाखा है, तो टी नगर में हजारों दुकानें हैं, आपको जहां माल खरीदना वहां खरीदो। कितनी दुकानें टी नगर में है कि नहीं है? सब अपना अपना माल बेच रहे हैं, अपनी अपनी चीज रख रहे हैं। वो अपने को डिसाइड करना है कि मेरे को पोतीस में जाना है कि सरोना स्टोर में जाना है कि वरसिद्धि में जाना है। आप पहले उसको एनालाइज करो, फिर आपको क्या चीज खरीदनी है, कहाँ मिलती है, कहाँ चीज अच्छी है, वो खरीदो। वो ज्ञान से हासिल होगा ना, वो आपका नॉलेज से आपको हासिल होगा। आप अपना ज्ञान को बढ़ाओ, आप अपना ज्ञान को बढ़ाओ, फिर आपको जो करना करो।
अच्छा, हाँ देखिए अहिंसा, जो जैन धर्म में अहिंसा का सिद्धांत है वो अहिंसा के रूप में है ही नहीं। ये सिर्फ प्रैक्टिकली व्यवहार के लिए अहिंसा 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 की बात करते हैं। जो जैन सिद्धांत है अहिंसा का वो है परस्परोपग्रहो जीवानाम। जो जैन सिद्धांत आगमों में दिया गया है वो है परस्परोपग्रहो जीवानाम। दैट मीन्स कि जीव जीव पर आधारित रहता है, कोऑपरेटिव स्टेट में रहते हैं। लिविंग बीइंग्स दे लिव in a cooperative way, they help each other and therefore we should not harm each other. This Parasparopagraho Jivanam was simplified as ahimsa. In cooperation, even you use your life, you sacrifice yourself, and in certain circumstances, if one jiva will eat the other jiva. इनफैक्ट प्रकृति का जो नियम है वो है जीव को जीव खाता है। प्रकृति का नियम है जीव को ही जीव खाता है। केवल मनुष्य में जो है हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस है, तो हम क्या सही है क्या गलत है इसका विचार करते हैं। हम में मोरालिटी है, किसी अदर स्पेसीज में मोरालिटी नहीं है। तो मोरालिटी के कारण हम चॉइस करते हैं। The other living beings that don't have any choice, they want to only fulfill their hunger by whatever means. But since we have consciousness of the highest level, before satisfying our hunger, we think twice whether what we should eat and what we should not eat. And this only signifies our level of consciousness. Otherwise, the whole universe depends on the simple fact that life eats life. There is nothing, even if supposing we are taking vegetables, are not vegetables life? Are we not eating? We are eating vegetables, plants have life. So we are doing hinsa. Now if we are eating wheat seed, we consider that it doesn't have life, but actually the seed is egg of the wheat plant. If you say egg has life, seed also has life. But we are eating seeds. The same seed, if you put in the earth and put water, it will sprout into the plant. It gives rise to a plant. And we are eating it. So where is hinsa? Where is the hinsa? Every step of ours involves hinsa. But we don't have the feeling of harming somebody. If intentionally you harm somebody, that only is hinsa. Unknowingly, unintentionally, hinsa will always take place. Even when you are breathing many bacteria, many viruses, and they are dying. If you are walking, you are killing many microbes. Whether you wear shoes or not, you are killing that. So there is no action which does not involve harm to other things. But our intention is not to harm. That is a natural process. Anything natural doesn't bind. All our religions, dharmas, they teach that we should live natural way. And what the nature says is, jiva eats jiva. Life begets life, life eats life. Both the things is done. Anything else? Thank you. Okay, Chabir. Any other query? She's at.
आप पूछेंगे तो सबको सुनाई देगा ना। आप पूछ लीजिए, हम तो एक क्वेश्चन और ले सकते हैं।
No, that's all. So thanks a lot for your cooperation and patient listening, and I hope today's knowledge will make use of this thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for patiently answering our questions and sharing your... Thank you, sir, for patiently answering our questions and sharing your valuable insights. We are truly grateful for your time, guidance, and the inspiration you have given us today. Thank you all for your participation. The girls behind can leave through the back door. The girls who are seated in the front, please wait for a few minutes until the back girls are gone. Girls, I kindly request you to disperse quietly. Girls, please disperse